Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Wednesday, the 17th of September, 2014. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. 11. Let's take a look first at what we've got coming out tomorrow. Let's just discuss the economic data and the things that we're going to be paying attention to that are non-technical, because there are a few things. We've got the CPI in the morning. That's one of the bigger economic data points every month. Obviously, not expecting any signs of inflation. The forecast is for somewhere between 0.1 and 0.2% for the month, and it's unlikely that that'll come in anywhere off of that number. But it is still a big number that the market likes to see. It's an hour before the bell. It comes out along with the current account balance, which is not a big number. Actually, 90 minutes before that, at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, the MBA Mortgage Index comes out. That's also not a big number. 30 minutes into the stock market at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, the NAHB Housing Market Index comes out. Also not a big number. 30 minutes after that, which is an hour into the market, crude oil inventories, also not a big number. So the big deal is CPI and the fact that we're still in a Fed meeting. It's a two-day meeting. The rate announcement will come at 2 p.m. Eastern Time with 2 hours left in the market. 30 minutes later, they'll do the press conference related to the Fed meeting. So that is one thing to focus on, is that if we get some action early, maybe because of the CPI, and then we've got the rate announcement. So most of the day is going to be slow. Now let's talk about what we had on Tuesday. Lighter volume than Monday. Got a little bit done early, but it wasn't nearly as exciting as Monday, which is interesting because we ended up with a lot of range. The market did head higher. Here's a look at the S&P cash index. You can see it was up for the session after being basically flat the day before. What's even more amazing is that the Nasdaq had lost about 40 points on Monday and regained exactly those 40 points on Tuesday, like nothing had ever happened. So again, a lot of that was selling, as money being raised, selling in the leading tech stocks to get money ready for the Alibaba IPO, which I believe should still be coming later this week. And even if that comes on Friday, which would be unfortunate, it'll at least give the market something to look at on options expiration Friday. This is triple expiration week, as we've discussed. So what else do we have to look for? Well, because tomorrow is Wednesday, or the coming day here is Wednesday of options expiration week, usually that's when you would see the options unraveling move. That means we'll be looking at where the market is exactly 1 hour in, and if the unraveling move occurs, volume will hold up and we'll pick a direction, and most of the rest of the day will head in that direction. Why is that important? Well, let's say it becomes to the upside, then you wouldn't want to spend a lot of time shorting stocks if you see a clear beginning of a move on some volume holding up after the first hour. That would be even more impressive because it's a Fed meeting day when usually volume drops off a cliff after the first hour. And it also means there's a chance we're just not going to get the options unraveling move until Thursday. There's also the slight chance, and I just want to bring this to everybody's attention. Well, first let me show you the crude oil, which is up near $95, came up a little bit from the session, and then here's the biotechs that bounced and the SOX index that bounced. Let's look at the intraday action from what we just covered. And I will say there's a slight chance that what we got here was our options unraveling move, because if you look, that big move occurred after the first hour's play almost exactly, and volume did hold up. It would be highly unusual for it to happen early. It would be on a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday, Thursday. Even more unusual with the Fed looming. Not that we expect the Fed to do anything. But let's just keep in mind that there's a possibility that this was the options unraveling move. The other problem I have with this is that volume was not heavy on this move in general. The market volume was down. NASDAQ volume was down from Monday. So that doesn't usually look right, but we can't ignore the fact that this started 1 hour after the market. And so unless there was some news out there, and I didn't notice any significant news to push that up. Obviously, the news of the week is Alibaba and what's going on over in the UK with the vote. But, you know, it still remains possible that that was options unraveling. If so, that kind of takes one of the big potential excitement factors out of the market for the rest of the week here. So we're just going to keep an eye on everything. Obviously, first hour, we'll try to find some trades like we normally do. You do expect things to dry up after that when you got a Fed meeting. We'll be looking just in case for that options unraveling move if it occurs. And then otherwise, we'll wait till after the Fed and see if there's any of our what we call a three-wave phenomenon. We'll talk about that in the lab, guide you through that if it occurs. And then Thursday, I think, has a shot at being a good trading day, especially if we have not yet seen the options unraveling move. It's the one big open day here this week where we're not waiting for anything. And then Friday's usually going to be a bust, again, pending when Alibaba actually starts trading and what else is going on in the UK with the vote. So that's what we're focused on for the rest of the week. From the technicals perspective, we're up so far this week. We had a really good trading day Monday, great trading session Monday, and an okay one on Tuesday as well, but not as nice. And sometimes that's just what happens. It's not always about the big market moves. It is sometimes just about where the better trading environments are. Those can be two different things. Hope to see you in the trading lab, and we will try to guide you through this in real time during the week. And have a great trading session.